The Judean desert, harsh, unforgiving, the kind of place you send prophets for character building, shall we say. It's here, amidst the scorpions and scrubland, we find a story about Jesus. Not just any story. This one involves fasting, temptation, and enough symbolism to make a Renaissance painter sweat. Now, the traditional take, Jesus, tempted by the devil, resists. Good triumphs, roll credits. But what if, like a stubborn desert bloom, there's more beneath the surface? What if these temptations weren't literal demonic propositions, but rather echoes of something deeper? Human even? Blasphemous, I know. But stay with me. The desert testing ground for the soul, it strips away comfort, leaving you bare before your own thoughts. It makes you question, makes you wonder. And isn't that where true spiritual growth begins? Let's consult the ancient texts, shall we? Mark, Matthew, Luke, our gospel giants. Each offer their own rendition of this wilderness saga. 40 days of fasting, they claim. 40 days. Even the most dedicated dieter would balk at that. Then comes the tempter. A shadowy figure offering, well, the Gospels get a bit creative here. Stones to bread, check. Dominion over kingdoms? Of course, leaping from temples, naturally. Each account, though similar, has its own flair. Like a game of desert telephone, the story evolves. Which, for a documentarian like myself, begs the question, what really happened out there? And more importantly, what does it tell us about ourselves? Ah, the devil, that horned, pitchfork-wielding embodiment of all things wicked. Or is he? Let's be honest, pinning down the devil's PR team is trickier than finding a decent date in the afterlife. One minute he's tempting saints, the next he's inspiring heavy metal bands. What if, and here's a thought, the devil isn't some external beastie at all? What if it's us, our own internal struggles, anxieties, and desires all dressed up in biblical garb? Think about it. The desert, that echoing emptiness, can amplify our inner voices. Doubts become deafening roars. Temptations, once whispers, now scream for attention. Perhaps the real battle wasn't with some external fiend, but with the very human, very real struggles within Jesus himself. Section 4, Son of God? More like Son of... Hang on, who you again? Let's not forget that this is Jesus we're talking about. Son of God, miracle worker, all-around nice guy. You'd think he'd have caller ID on his soul, knowing when temptation was a telemarketer and not a divine hotline. Yet there he is, grappling with these seemingly basic offers. Power, he's meant to have it in spades later. Turning stones to bread sounds more like a Tuesday than a crisis of faith. Unless, what if this wilderness experience was less about external tests and more about internal discovery? Jesus coming to terms with his purpose, wrestling with the very nature of his own divinity. The temptations then become less about succumbing to evil and more about defining what good truly means. Section 5, Temptation Island, starring your ego. Let's break down these temptations, shall we? Stones to bread, instant gratification, the desire for an easy way out. We've all been there, haven't we? Skipping to the good part, taking shortcuts, ordering takeout instead of cooking a healthy meal. Kingdoms of the world? Ah, the allure of power. Who hasn't daydreamed about being top dog, calling the shots, having it all? But at what cost? Power, like a desert mirage, can be intoxicating and ultimately illusory. And finally, leaping from the temple. This isn't just about recklessness, but about testing faith, demanding proof, seeking validation from the outside world. It's the human desire for a spectacle, a sign, a grand gesture from the cosmos. Section 6, Faith, Hope, and a whole lot of soul-searching. So what can we glean from these wilderness wanderings? Perhaps it's this: the desert isn't just a place, it's a state of being. We all face our own wildernesses, our own temptations, our own internal struggles. The desert asks us to confront those temptations, not with grand gestures of piety, but with quiet reflection, honest introspection. It challenges us to ask ourselves, what truly sustains us? What are we hungry for? And are we willing to do the work, to walk the path, even when it's difficult, even when it's lonely? The journey of faith, like any expedition into the unknown, is rarely easy. But it's in those moments of doubt, in those wilderness wanderings, that we discover who we truly are. And perhaps, just perhaps, that's a discovery worth more than any kingdom or miracle.